Hi, this is a quick video about how to use this active listening best practices worksheet. Now, active listening is something that takes quite a bit of skill to master. This worksheet is not intended to make you a master, just to give you some quick tips, some things you can try, and a way to practice them. So here's the four steps on here, and here's a quick review verbally in case the written instructions need a little extra sauce. But just keep in mind as we go through this is all a skill that takes time to develop. So the key thing about active listening is that when you're listening to someone, you're not contributing, you're just listening. So a lot of times in most conversations you'll experience, people are listening to respond and add to the conversation, add their opinion, what they think you should do, how to solve the problem. The hardest part of active listening is not that. Don't do that. Just let the person talk and focus all your energy on what they're saying and how they're saying it. Pay as much attention to the person as you can. And the only way you can do this is pay no attention to yourself. It's very hard, but you can try. Here's a rule of thumb. They talk 80% of the conversation, you talk 20. Number two, let them know that you're doing that. So say it back to them. Make sure you got it right. That lets them know that you heard them. And it helps avoid misunderstandings because you heard them wrong. So it's okay if you say it back to them and you didn't get it right. That's just fine. In fact, it's great. That's why you do it. So you reflect it. You might paraphrase it or maybe use an analogy. It can be fun too. But there's nothing wrong with repeating it. Make sure you got it right. Get curious about what you hear. So if I'm telling you a story about why something's frustrating for me, and you hear an aspect of it that seems important, and you're not clear or you're curious, ask for more. Ask for more. Tell me about that. I heard that was frustrating. Like, tell me about that. How's that play out for you? And try something open-ended. So don't suggest an answer they can pick from. Tell me more about that. How would you feel about telling me about that? And repeat this until you feel you really know the situation they're trying to convey. Lastly, in a lot of conversations, like for example, the sales conversation, they might be needing to make a decision and you might be there to help them do that. But let them author this story that is happening. Stay in the listening mode. So if you're going to make sure, first, you make sure you understand where they're at. And then second, if you're going to make them an offer, ask them how they feel about you doing that before you do it. So it might look like this. Someone's come in to see you about how they could restructure their debt, let's say. And they explain everything. You get really curious about why this is this way and this is that way and this is this way and this is that way and how they feel about it. And then you say something like, how would you feel about me showing you some strategies that might help you feel differently about this debt load? Ask permission and get their buy-in. Clarify why all of this is important. When you do this, not only do you get a much better picture of what's happening than if you jump in with your opinion right away, the person feels much safer with you because they know that you're listening to what they have to say and you're on their team to solve the problem. It can be extremely powerful in your life in so many different ways. Practice makes perfect. I highly suggest, and this is what we learn in life coaching school, you break into pairs of two and you just practice back and forth. And then you have some compassion for yourselves as you're learning a new skill. But practice it with your husband or wife, spouse, practice it with a coworker, practice it with a friend. But you need somebody to listen to, don't you? And you need someone to listen to you. So it can be a really fun thing to learn to do, and it can be a great way to change your conversations into being more impactful, empathic, and productive.